Welcome everyone. It is day 5, our grand finale of the 5-day reading breakthrough. I am so honored that you are here. Thanks for giving me your attention this week. I believe we've seen amazing results and I want to hear it. I'm greedy for hearing your results. So start the share. As you know, like we've done all week, if you comment, you're going to be entered into a drawing. We are going to spin the wheel and see what that prize will be based on those of you who are participating in the comments. And we've got a lot to celebrate. It's been a really big week. Thank you, Kirsten and Amy and Kate and Sherry and Anita, Kate, and Teresa and Greg. Thank you all for being here. Should we get started? If you haven't seen this before, we're in the midst of a 5-day reading breakthrough where I am teaching just one simple activity that we call Switch It, which has been causing quite a number of breakthroughs, and I'm going to be sharing them with you today. The STAR student that I am working with, you're seeing him 5 days in a row, and your own STAR students have been getting outstanding results. So that is what we're going to be celebrating today, and we're going to kind of wrap up the big ideas that you need to learn about Switch It so you can get amazing outcomes. So let me hear, what improvements have you seen this week? Maybe you've done Switch It once, twice, 4 times, maybe even 5. And Jody says, I can't believe it has been 5 days. Yeah. We packed in a lot. It's kind of an unusual professional development, but I hope it has been powerful and useful. For those of you who are new, Switch It does all of these things at the same time. We talk about integrating multiple subprocesses simultaneously with this activity. And as a result, you can dump instructional waste. You can save so much time. But it's just, of course, one of the core elements of a Reading Simplified lesson. And even though it's more than just Switch It, it's still super simple. 3 components: rereading for fluency, word work, just a handful of activities there, and guided oral reading. That simplicity allows you to focus in on what kids need and not on finding the stuff. Jennifer says, so glad to have taken part in this challenge again. Kathy, how many of you can relate to Kathy? My student seems surprised at his ability. That's what we see a lot with Reading Simplified. Okay, Amy, thank you for sharing. I've done it 4 times with students. Their confidence has definitely gone up. Sweet. These are good things. So keep sharing. I want to know how Switch It went. We're going to then share the day 4 winner and then talk about our teaching point for today. It's keeping the momentum, not just doing well with what we've done before, but continuing to grow. And then we'll see the finale of our STAR student, who can guess where the STAR student's going to end up. Teresa had her students gain so much confidence this week. I love it. And then, of course, we'll draw our winner for our prize for those of you who did the homework. Here are some of the cool results that we saw in the Facebook group. Thank you so much for sharing there. Jamie said her students loved knowing they skipped some word lists because they were doing so well. Nice job. And Jamie is following the coaching of this week. Sarah's students added many new sounds. CJ added 8 consonants and 3 short vowels. JM, 10 consonants and 3 short vowels. Wow. And they were on three sounds, but they're moving to 4 sounds tomorrow. Again, textbook with what I've been teaching this week. Penny, her student did A, E, I, and O, and TH, which was hard. Well done. Jessica, very cool. My special needs students learned 10 new sounds this week. Again, remember, what would a traditional mainstream program have you do in 1 week? Would you have even exposed kids to 10 sounds? Probably not, let alone have them learn it. And so, as Deb says, that is so great to hear. But that's not all. Cheryl said that her student did exceptionally well, quickly manipulating graphemes and adjusting for length of words. I was all ready to use feedback, but had no reason to. That's A-okay. And now you know tomorrow you're going to push her up to a harder phonemic level, which was our teaching tip for day 3. Jody had 2 learners add 3 sounds and 2 digraphs from level 1. Well done. And Sarah, I was really excited about this one as well. 3 sounds to 4 sounds. And then the students went from knowing some consonant letters and some vowel sounds to knowing most of their letters and sounds, plus the digraphs. Look at all those digraphs. All of this together is pretty cool. So we're just going to celebrate you guys. And should we have our day 4 winner? Dun, dun, dun. This person, what are they getting, by the way? Oh, our Steal It games. These are fun. They map on with our advanced phonics, which is something I'm going to give you a little sneak peek about later this evening. And so we'll draw to see who's going to get those 8 digital games. Steal It. Let's make sure I've got the right thing here. Winner. First word is flock, like a flock of birds. You got it. Where is the Oh, good. Sorry, I touched the wrong button. Here we choose file. Day 4. Okay, here we go. Congratulations, Teresa. I know you're here and you even went from 3 sounds to 5 sounds. Woo! So double bonus. Well done. Can you hear me? I just saw that something said unmuted. Is everything good? Kate says, I feel like now I know I can push to other levels. That is a beautiful thing. That is a great praise for our time spent together. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Congratulations to Teresa, as Jennifer says. Okay, so we're back here, and Teresa's going to win the 8 Steal It games, and then for day 5's homework is going to be exciting. We're going to give away a whole pack of these crazy longs. They align really well with Reading Simplified. So what our first advanced phonics sound or long vowel sound is the O sound. Notice it teaches more than one spelling. So clever. This is an easy way to get kids to learn how to read. And so these are beautiful cards. You play it like crazy 8s, and they have multiple spellings in them. So I've been actually using these cards for more than 20 years. Not these per se, but I love her stuff, so I'm happy to give these away to anyone who does the homework, and then one will get their name drawn. 5 decks. Pretty cool prize, huh? So that is day 5, and then don't forget, if you do all 5 days, even if you have to go backwards to get some of that homework done, you can be entered into the drawing. We're not going to have that many that did all 5 days, and Greg is doing a Herculean effort to gather all those names, and he'll draw one winner, which we're going to announce tomorrow. Deb also uses the cards, and her students love them. Awesome. This grand prize, don't forget, it's going to include our new binder, which includes all of our decodable texts for pre-K to kindergarten, and it actually even goes up to 1st grade. So we're really proud of this. These are the resources that you can find inside the Reading Simplified Academy as digital downloads, but if you want them as in a nice binder, already color printed, this may be for you. Okay. Oh, this is beautiful, Sherry. I see a common theme here. Our students gain so much confidence and have fun using Switch It. I love that. Don't forget, if you're just popping in, maybe a friend showed you that you needed to join in, but you missed some of it. We have a really good offer, I think. Only $19.97 to get the replays of these sessions and some one-on-ones with me on Zoom, the replays of that, and then a bigger Switch It word list. So go ahead and give us that link, Greg, for those of you who want to get the replays and in case you missed out. Okay, today's teaching tip is keep the momentum. You are seeing here in the chat amazing momentum. I am really thrilled with your success. You've been good students. And Switch It is so powerful. I want you to remember what you have learned this week, and I'll review it really quickly. That's the number one way to keep the momentum. And number two is to move forward in learning more Reading Simplified activities, whether you join us inside the Reading Simplified Academy or you take the resources that we have freely available to the public. Don't just stop here. Switch It is amazing, but guess what? It's a lot better when you put the whole enchilada together. So, the first night I tried to make the pitch to you that other programs have compartmentalized early reading and intervention reading in the early days and weeks and months, and that is unnecessary. It's out of alignment with the science, and it's inefficient. And you've seen this for yourself with your own student, with your peer students in the chat, and with our star student. Instead of having a compartmentalized approach and having hundreds of things to go look for to plan a lesson, you've discovered that one simple activity works better because it's integrating all these skills simultaneously. And some of the features that we've talked about is paired contrast. So instead of doing a whole week on A and not going to contrast until A is like perfect, we're going to throw in A and I quite early on, and having to go back and forth between two consonants, two short vowels, two digraphs. That gets the brain awake and discriminating between the different letter sounds, and it learns much more quickly. That's why it's possible for things like we have a special needs students learning 10 letter sounds in 1 week. This is the secret sauce. Another secret sauce is that we're going to keep challenging students' phonemic difficulty. Don't camp out in CVC, move up to 4 sounds and then 5 sounds and 6 sounds, and then even doing maybe nonsense words at the 6 sound level. And those 2 days teaching tips lead us to these 2 diagnostic questions. These are so pivotal. These can help you with Switch It, and they can help you with all other word work activities you are using. And maybe even if you have another program that's mandated, take these diagnostic questions with you, and don't just do the activity, the next word list, because it's in the book for Tuesday and it's Tuesday. No, ask yourself each day, can I add more letter sounds to my students via Switch It or other activities tomorrow? So if they did okay with A and I, not perfect, we don't want mastery initially. We want to keep exposing them to more and more. This keeps their brains alert, and they, again, it helps them to discriminate, and they just learn faster. And so we ask that question, and then we ask our second diagnostic question: can I increase the level of phonemic difficulty? If we were at 3 sounds and they were not freaking out, they can probably handle CVCC, consonant, vowel, consonant, consonant words like held. How many of you have gotten this drilled into your head by now? If you're not, watch this replay and try to internalize it, because this is going to rocket your kids. This simple concept is going to rocket your kids. The programs that are widely used are step by step, and they are indifferent to where your students are and what they're capable of. You now are more capable than those programs think you are. And then we talked about specific targeted feedback to accelerate learning. That's what we talked about last night. Everyone makes basically the same types of mistakes. So learn these cues that we showed you in the Switch It guide. In the guide section of the Facebook group, you can find that. And you will see kids moving up and up and up. If you were to go back and watch all of the 5 days of me doing Switch It, you're probably hearing me say some of the same things over and over again. No, you have map, but we want mop. It's just becomes a broken record, but it's a good broken record, because that feedback is going to help your students get what they need to get, and they will progress. Okay, so those are some things that will help you to keep the momentum. All right. Remember these key principles about doing Switch It. It's not just so effective because it's a word chain. It's a word chain on steroids. Okay. So keep these principles in your mind and then share them with your colleagues so they get better results. And that's not all. This has been awesome. Switch It does so many things, but it doesn't do everything that we need to be able to teach reading. And for instance, it doesn't really teach blending because we've said the word aloud and the child may just be recalling it when they put the word back together, put the letter sounds back together. So how many of you run across blending problems? These are ubiquitous, whether with a simple single syllable word or even multi-syllable word. Don't worry, we got you covered. Read It solves that. And I want to just tell you a couple of key things that would help push your momentum into next week and beyond if you were to add in these other activities. Now, I'm just going to give a brief teaser. You can dive in further by either joining the Reading Simplified Academy or doing a DIY search yourself. Jennifer has had great success with this. Yes, in all caps. So let's check out, actually, before I move into the video, just to show you, just like Switch It, Read It does a lot. So you get more bang for your buck with this simple activity. So it's going to be doing some of the same things that Switch It did, but it's also adding that particularly phoneme blending instead of phoneme manipulation. And kids can even learn letter sound knowledge in the midst of this activity. They can learn how to decode, which is going to carry them into real reading. So there you go. It's one part of our word work activities. You can see it right next to Switch It, and we usually pair Switch It and Read It for our beginners all the time. So let's see a super short clip of a young student blending the word slap. Notice how he does it. He doesn't segment first. He does not go s, o, a, p. What word? That's a sound word approach or a segmented approach. That's out of alignment with the research. And we just see a lot of problems with that, especially with those who are who have poor phonemic processing or poor phonological processing, poor working memory, or just limited literacy experiences. So this little guy is going to do what's sometimes called continuous blending, connected phonation, or what we prefer, blend as you read. So this is Read It with using the blend as you read decoding strategy. Okay, let's put these sounds together. Okay, what are the first two sounds?
S,
Put them together.
o,
Put all three together.
s, o, slap.
Nice. Okay, great job. You put the sounds together. Now say each sound. Beauty. Okay, let's erase and say the sound.
Can I redo this one?
Sure. I'm going to fix your ah.
Yeah.
Down. Nice, much sharper. Okay, now erase and say the sounds. So that is all there is to it, to Read It. And can you see how that might pair really well with Switch It? Do you see how we could ask ourselves the same diagnostic question? Can I add more letter sounds? Which one should I target? Can I increase the phonemic difficulty? So the teacher writes the word first or has it on a card, shows everyone, then the students write it. And why do you think they say the sounds as they write the sounds? S, o, a, p. Does that kind of align with some of the things that are happening during Switch It? Yeah, that's how we roll here at Reading Simplified. We're hyper focused on sound-based decoding, getting the kids to transform the sounds that they hear in the word into those squiggles. And then we get extra reinforcement of segmentation and letter sound knowledge by erasing s, o, a, p. So that is the 5-minute or less version of how to do Read It, which is a perfect pair to Switch It. And then that's not all, because we normally work at the short vowel level with those two activities. What do you do about advanced phonics, like long vowels? How many of you have kids that maybe can do the blending, but you teach them OA and you work hard all week on it, and then next week it's like it's never was there. Jody says she likes Read It, and so does Crystal. Jennifer says, Blend as you read has opened the door to blending and reading for so many of my students. Janice, is Read It similar to orthographic mapping? Orthographic mapping is the process that the brain has to go through to get a word to stick by sight. And so Read It can be one tool to support that, as can Switch It, and as can this next activity I'm going to talk about. So how many of you have students who get frustrated with the long vowels? Don't you worry, we've got an answer for that. Our activity Sort It solves that. So we start kids with doing Switch It and Read It, and then once they can do Read It pretty well, then they're doing Switch It and Sort It. And so with Sort It, notice that they're going to be reading one sound O and sorting by spellings. The O in go, the O in home, the O in show, the O in boat, the O in Joe. And you better believe that when we're doing it, we are tying it to sounds. So if the word road is written under the OA column, this child goes R, O, D. And we also have the key sentence. One key sentence for each sound. In this case, it's go home to show the boat to Joe. That is a mnemonic that helps us all week. And then we go and read O sound text, which we have hundreds of inside the Reading Simplified Academy. So Read It and Sort It are really pivotal. Again, check out all the things that it does simultaneously, so you don't have to do all of this, all of these sub skills in isolation. And there you have it. You've just been exposed to, in rapid fire, most of the core word work. And then you can imagine that guided oral reading is guiding kids to read, and they're going to align with the vowel that you're targeting in word work. And then rereading is rereading. So for time, I'm going to skip Write It, but I just want you to understand that you're so close to knowing the whole thing, the whole kit and caboodle. This system altogether is so much more efficient, and we teach you how to do it because you're probably feeling overwhelmed by all the things. We've really reduced it, just 3 components, just a handful of word work activities, a simple one-page scope and sequence for our in using our streamlined pathway. We don't want you to be overwhelmed. And sometimes people think, well, that's nice that you're saying you're making it easy, but reading is really, really hard. And I know that for some of the time, in some certain situations, it can be hard. But for a vast majority of our students, it's actually not that hard when you have a very powerful system. Did it look like I was sweating bullets with our star student this week? How many of you were really, really frustrated with your students this week? When you put the whole system together, it's for many, many students, many, many days, it's really quite simple and effective, powerful, and fast. So we want you to have access to the full Reading Simplified system. I announced on Wednesday all the special things that are inside of it, so you can go back to that replay, or you can ask us questions about it. We also have a page on our website with more information. Greg, can you put the Academy page, readingsimplified.com/academy, if you want to learn more. But for you guys now, we're doing a discount that's not available for everyone, and we're also giving bonuses. I hope that you will join us, so you'll find, like what Jennifer said, she was coming from a school that uses some phonics program, which has 120 lessons with long vowel sounds taught here, there, and everywhere. WH taught in lesson 121, and many other layout issues that I have been questioning for years. So finding Reading Simplified, which has everything laid out on one page using powerful integrated activities, is like finding the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. You never thought it existed. So we're really happy about Jennifer's success. And Laura continued by saying, yes, it's so streamlined and simple. It's just in a few months you can teach what other programs need an entire year to cover or more. So we want you to give this a long, hard thought if you haven't already joined us. And if you have joined, let us celebrate you. So these are the discounts. Instead of $387 for the first year, it's just $347, or $39 a month versus $43. You can go here to this website to read more about what we offer, but this is the link with the discounted price. So that will come to you in your email if you're signed up. But you can also open up that link now in another a window, please. Deb has a lot of experience with Sort It. She says it's a big tool that helps unlock many of my older students' reading issues. Yeah, and it can happen really fast. It's kind of fun. So, should we see day 5? Where will he go? Do I have it up here? Okay, yeah. Look at what he's done so far. Pretty dang cool, right? A kid that could not segment 3 sound words is not only segmenting them by Tuesday, but he's actually already moved on to 4 sounds on Thursday. Look at all the letter sounds that he's playing around with, including 4 short vowels and 2 digraphs. What will happen on Friday? Any guesses? Based on Friday, would you say he's capable of going up to another level of phonemic difficulty? Well, let's give it a watch. Check out our day 5. I apologize about the video brightness, but hopefully you can, now that you've seen enough of Switch It, you can kind of guess what's going on, even though it's not a very good quality video. But you're probably going to be amazed by what he's doing in day 5. Our star student, this is only his 5th day of just 8 minutes of Switch It, 5 days in a row to show the power of integrating all sub-processes simultaneously. So the first word I'd like for you to build is the word got. I got a pencil at the store. Got. You're right, there's an ah, but before we get to g, which is g? But in the multiple choice test, he's nailing it. You got it. You totally picked it out. So say g. G. And it's got. What's next? Let's say it. Yeah. And the last sound? Wow. I think you got it. Let's check it. G. And the word is? Got. Okay. So you got it yesterday, but today I'm going to get it. Can you switch this to get? Well, we need a g for get. We have ga. Yeah, we don't need the ah. What sound? You're right, there's a g. But what goes in the middle? That's right. Check the sounds. G. And the word is? Get. Very good. Okay, switch it to pet. Do you have a pet? I don't either. Pet. Oh, that was easy for you. Okay. P. What comes after the p in pet? P. And the word is?
Pet.
Nice. Okay, how about pat? I pat you on the head for a job well done. Pat. You're right. Don't we need the F? We don't need the F. That will make it ah. Pot. We need ah. Very good. And the word is?
At.
Except this would be at. This with the p makes it?
Pat.
Cat. Okay, let's switch it to pot. I cooked the spaghetti in the pot. Say the sounds in pot. Sweet. Okay, switch it to pit. Oh no, he fell into a pit. Pit. What sound? Let's figure out the sound first. You've got the I. So let's check the sounds in pit.
It.
And the word is?
Pit.
Yay! So now we're going to go to that 5-letter word. Okay? Just like you wanted. You wanted to use more of the board, okay? So that's what we're going to do. Let's make the word stomp. Like we're going to use these letters. I'm going to stomp my feet. What's the next sound?
Stomp.
You're right. That would make, we need the p. But if we left it this way, it would be st. What do we need to make stomp? Stomp. You got it right. You got it right. And then the last couple sounds. Stomp. Wow. Check the sounds. This is p. we're going to take one away. This is a little different. Okay? Take one away. We're not going to replace it. To make stop. Like, stop. It's a red light. You have stop. And we need, oh, that was too easy for him. Stop. You've already got the P. It's actually here. Right here. Just move it over.
Stop.
Stop. Move it over. There you go. Let's check stop.
In. Stomp.
Now this was stomp, but this is just stop.
Stop.
Stop. And we're going to go back to stomp. Okay? Stomp. Stomp my feet. And now we're going to switch it to stamp. Like I put a stamp on the envelope. We need the P. You have stomp and you need stamp. Wow, that was easy. Let's figure out what sound it is. Well, there's a P. Let's slow down. You've got stamp. Yeah. Okay, you've got stamp. Put the stamp on the envelope. Let's check the sounds. Stamp. Can you hear the sound at the end of stamp? Yeah, stamp. Okay, let's switch this. I'm going to move these around. You don't know which one. We're going to switch it to stump, like there is a tree stump in my backyard. We need a P. Let's figure out where we're going to make the change. You've got and we need stump. Don't need the A. We need an You said it. I heard you say it. Which one is Which is We haven't used it yet.
Oh.
That would make it stop. Stop. No, we haven't used this one yet. Which one have we not used? That's it.
We never used this one?
Not with me. That's Can you say it? Like somebody's hitting you in the gut. Okay, this is the word stump. Do you know what a tree stump is? Okay, let's check the sounds in stump. And the word is?
Stump.
Very nice. Okay, now I'm going to really challenge you. Can you take away two things? Two things we're going to do to change stump to stun. Stun. Oh, that is so good. He got both of them. I didn't know if that was possible. We need to make stun. What's Which one is That's O. You nailed it. Okay, I'm stunned that you did it. Stun. Well, if it was, we're not doing stunt yet, but if we were, we would have another sound here. Check the sounds in stun. It's hard thinking about that, isn't it? Stun. And the last sound? Stun. Very nice. Okay, the last word, and then you are done. Okay, let's switch it to stunt. A stunt is a trick. We're gonna have to add something to make it stun to stunt. Oh my goodness, that was, you need my help.
The same.
That's right. Okay, you've got the word stunt. You're right, there's an but before we get to that, we've got stun. And the word is?
Stunt.
Oh my goodness. Absolutely amazing. You've made such amazing progress. That little block was as a reminder of how integrated this activity is in contrast with typical reading programs, especially for beginners. Instead of doing 10 minutes of phonemic awareness orally only, or 10 minutes of letter sound instruction in isolation, 15 minutes of phonics or decoding, and 10 minutes of high frequency sight words, and 15 minutes of handwriting. All of that can be integrated into one or two activities, and we saw almost all of these sub skills be integrated into one activity. Saves us a ton of time. And that's what this week has been all about. So the first word I'd like to do. What do you think? Is that what you expected at the beginning of the week when you heard that there was a kindergarten student who was struggling? His mom had dyslexic tendencies. He only knew 6 or 7 letter sounds, no short vowels, and he couldn't segment a simple sound like a word like sun. Colleen says she loves watching him improve each evening. He has gained the needed confidence to know he can do it. Yes, so true. He was amazing, as always, says Jennifer. It's not what you expected, was it, Sherry? And that's not, I'm not trying to say, oh, I'm such a good teacher. The point is the activity. And you have proved that because we've seen special needs students learn 10 letter sounds this week. Kids learned multiple digraphs. Kids went from 3 sounds to 4 sounds, and you're maybe just starting this activity. I like how you gave extra processing time and he figured it out. Yeah, that's part of that day 4, giving the feedback, being in tune with where they are, telling them, you got this part right, but let's tweak it a little bit. And by exaggerating and elongating and zeroing in on what's the missing link that they didn't get and giving them that information, but then we still let them do the work. So what does it look like? Check this out. He ended the week at doing 5 sound switch it, which means he could segment 5 sound words, st, p, which he couldn't even do anything close to that on Monday. He could also manipulate stomp to stump. That's the hardest level of phonemic awareness. So that's quite a lot if you just look at the bottom row of his improvement in phonemic difficulty. Your students can do the same. And look at the columns. Those were all the letter sounds that I kept adding to the board. So even on Friday, he probably wasn't that solid with and CK and SH. I just introduced them. So he didn't add a lot more letter sounds, but by Friday, he had all 5 letter sounds. Short vowels. As Jessica says, I love watching these videos. I think it would be good if we shared more practice. Like Jennifer Glick, who is here, she records her video and often shares it with us, and sometimes she just watches it to learn from her own instruction. So this is what's possible with activities that are high leverage that integrate multiple subprocesses simultaneously. So that's why we want you to keep the momentum. We want you to learn the insights about Switch It that you've gotten started with this week, but then we also want you to think about how to expand what you know and try some of our other high leverage activities. That's a review from Thursday. So that's why we want you to get the full system, learn the full 3 parts, learn our scope and sequence, get access to all of our decodable texts and our sorted pages like this one. So you don't have to create the wheel, recreate it yourself. And because we don't want you to slow down, we want you to have the momentum, we're giving discounts and some bonuses. 23 digital games, like including 8 Steal It, and several others that are a bonus only for those of you who are getting the special link. As nice little rhyme there. That's pretty neat, or assonance. That's pretty neat in a week. Thank you, Kate. It was amazing how he hung in with you even though he was being challenged, right? When we scaffold the students and they know that they're going to get better, they don't quit. Now, some kids who are perfectionists, they may need a little bit more caution, but you can still push them more than you might otherwise. And so Greg has dropped the link for you to join. We'd love for you to join us inside the Reading Simplified Academy so we can continue to cheer you on, continue to support you. We have basically daily individualized coaching, so you're not on your own. Just like this week has been about us guiding you, getting you to practice, and then giving feedback. That's what you get when you're inside the Reading Simplified Academy. It's like not many other professional developments environments that I've ever encountered, but we're really proud of it here. And you can see some of the folks in the chat who are either Reading Simplified veterans or in pros or just recently learning Reading Simplified, they've been really encouraged. So don't be a stranger. And if this isn't the time for you to join, then keep following us and pay attention to what we have on our website that's freely available so you can learn more about Read It and Sort It. And oh, thank you, Deb. Joining was the best thing I did for my students. I love this, Tammy. I love how much Switch It challenges my student. Awesome. So again, these are the discounts just for this season. And I think we should call it a wrap. Did I get everything? It is challenging to plan. That's part of our goal, is to help you with the systems. And our Teachers Lounge is an online discussion board where Reading Simplified experts like Jennifer and Deb, who are in the chat tonight, and myself are there daily to give feedback. Thank you, Sonia. I appreciate that. So this offer is going to be available through the 15th. We're going to send you some emails if you're signed up so you can think about it. And don't forget, if you have an administration that should be paying for this, then please encourage them to do so. We have a page of information about how schools can access for one teacher or the whole staff. Just go to readingsimplified.com/district-packages, and that will show you how you can get an invoice, get a purchase order, and then get you and maybe your colleagues moving really rapidly. Well, it's been such an honor to have your attention. Some of you have been here so faithful every night. Some of you have come and gone, and some of you are maybe just watching the replays because the time zone is wacky. So I am really, really grateful because it's been on my heart for decades to get this information into more and more hands, because when I found out how to teach reading, by a lot of persistence and a little bit of luck and a blessing, I felt like I wasn't supposed to keep it to myself. And so you paying attention has been a great blessing to me and all of the other people here who've been working with Reading Simplified for years. They have the same mission to get this information in the hands of so many people, because the teaching of reading doesn't have to be as hard as it has been made. And we want the simpler way for you that also works for students. So thank you for your time.